When do you decide if an MVP is now suitable for go-to-market? Well, the best way to do it, I found, is through some type of transactional activity. So sales, pre-order, Kickstarter, some type of commitment. It could be also investor commitment, so that's a transaction as well. So it's important for you to have also initial feedback, blind feedback. The more blind you can get it, the better, AKA not your friends, family. You know, would you buy a shoe if it didn't hurt, a high heel, if it didn't hurt, but it was the most like stylish heel at the same time? Everyone says yes, right? Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, I've told all my friends they would totally buy that. It's like, of course, everyone would buy it. What if I could lose weight and gain muscle without going to the gym? Would you buy it? Right? So you have to be careful with your leading questions when you're gathering feedback around your MVP of people around you. I like when my friends and family buy our products and they use them and they give me feedback, and sometimes they're really ruthless, and I like that. I love it. I'm like, more ruthless. Like, this packaging is crap compared to this one. And I go, more. So, you know, that's great and all, but you know an MVP is ready to move to the next stage. When there's, also, you got to think about there are quantitative factors to that too, like the defect rate, you know, your testing, your quality control tests. So you're going through that, and when you feel to your degree of confidence, it could be 95%, 98%, you say, okay, this product is performing its basic functions to deliver the value that people are paying for. And in my business is, does the toothpaste foam up? Does it taste minty? Do people like it? Does it explode? Is every batch kind of consistent? And are people asking for it? Are they buying it? Are they wanting it? Are they ordering it? Something along those lines. And that's going to give me a good enough feel that the MVP is ready to move to supporting it a bit further in more of those go-to-market initiatives. Maybe not all the way, right? Because we're constantly pulling back and pivoting. The thing that's made Snow so successful across its the number one oral care brand online is because of, I've always wanted to run a product company like a SaaS company, where I could roll out updates you know, regularly to the product itself. So the products, I was going to bring some here, but you'll see them on the website. The products have been iterated upon hundreds of times, from packaging, the adhesive, the opacity of packaging, the opacity of labeling, primary packaging, secondary packaging, label placement, barcode placement, inks used, all of that. In summer, it's hot here, so we had to we just played with a bunch of adhesive levels to figure out what worked for that custom mailer we're using. So there's all kinds of stuff, right? There's always stuff going on, but I think it's important. Massive, imperfect action equals amazing success. Amazing success. And if you have a group around you that's willing to, a word that I like when I'm building with people is benevolence. And benevolence through, even intellectually, through ideas, ideation, that someone is thinking the best for me, for the business, that this is something that they really feel passionate about. And then if you have massive imperfect action, you will always win the race in the end. As long as not just don't give up, you can pivot 100 times, you're gonna have to. But that's what, we didn't wait until we had every single green light and then push it forward. Some things need that, right? Every type of development's different. But generally, as soon as you're able to get something out, that's important. Just be careful with your innovation, because if you go to market too quickly, and it's not a success comparative to the amount of money you raise or your team, like Theranos, it will expose everything. And immediately you become a joke. So you have to also, especially if you're the founder, you have to understand, I had to learn that the hard way. People aren't in my head. So I'm like, why are you not excited? I'm like, oh, you're not in my head, got it. So I've learned how to present, and most importantly, one of the important skills in innovation, ideation, if you feel strongly about something, is really, to the crux of it, getting someone else to think it's their idea versus it's yours. Not manipulating them, but seeing if there's something that you feel strongly about and seeing if there's a way they can connect to that point. So if they don't like the Snow didn't start 2 years earlier than it should have because I shared the idea to one of my partners at the time, and he just didn't have any, no cosmetics experience, no teeth, just no experience in it. But I shared the idea on a whiteboard. I was like, we're gonna call it Snow, we're gonna do. And there was a stoic, just blank response on his face. I took that as, this is a stupid idea compared to everything else we're talking about, so I'm not gonna do it. And he didn't even mean anything by it. He was just tired probably that day. Who knows? But in my head, I'm like, here it is. And nothing back. And it's oh, putting that on a shelf. But I still kept working on Snow in the background because I knew there was something there and I knew I had to scratch that itch. So I kept going at it. But the validation is important. If I would have pushed him a bit further, he messaged me years later and he was like, oh man, he's like, I see what you were talking about. He's like, dang it. Years later, in a positive way, and he's very successful, he's doing well. But I didn't know at that time. So when you have, as you get more mature in your experience of product creation and innovation, you will learn how to navigate those areas, because when people are creating together, it is like birthing a child. And there are a lot of emotional minefields and political minefields that I'm just saying, because look, I'm here talking to you guys, right? I'm telling you, to be successful, you need to really understand how to lead. Projects are managed, people are led. So lead them in your direction if you need them to some extra support, but you have to do that. You have to do that carefully. So that's the thing, is a lot of good ideas die because they're not supported, and a lot of bad ideas are supported because there's the inner workings of that, whether it's corporate bureaucracy, whatever.